Hey fam, welcome back to another episode of I'm Telling You.
Telling you.
As always, your faithful host,
Your
Philly D.
faithful host.
No, faithful dude. I said it. Philly D.
Mr. Gemini.
Quickly clack a fact check it, JD.
Bam!
Bam. She's not Emerald, bro.
Well, she is kind of, because she's taking it up a notch.
I know. I still say we need to take it up a notch, which I've said before and I'll say again. If you want us to kick it up another notch, reach out to us. Go ahead and email us, ity@directionsinmusic.org.
Or hit us up separately.
Yeah, well, ITY will get any one of us. But yeah, if you, Mr. Gemini, you can do Gemini, Gemini.
At directionsinmusic.org.
Get the dude a robot. Yeah, then Philly D, PHILLYD.
Double L.
LY. Directionsinmusic.org.
Why?
Yeah.
Because I said so.
Why? Because we like you. And for first-time listeners, this is a 30-year friendship of us chopping it up, just talking about everything and getting into it and enjoying life and being funny, but also, you know.
I don't like to put labels on shit.
I ain't trying to what had happened was, what I feel like.
But really, this is what we do to hang out now.
This is our excuse to keep our friendship going. Is that what?
No,
it's
but
very codependent. Sounding.
No. The original point of this was that we had some interesting conversations, and you just thought it'd be interesting to have. And how many times can I say interesting in this sentence? It'd be interesting to have
Literally
like an audio file of our conversations.
Yeah, but see, I mean, I always said it was like I wanted to do it for like comedic purposes. Like I was trying to put together like sketch comedy, which we even got into it the one time we were talking. You asked me, you're like, dude, when we did this, did you really think that that's what I was like? Yeah, no, that's what I thought we were gonna do that. And, it didn't happen that way. But, dude, that's totally what I was expecting.
But you got to actually write skits and stuff to do that.
But see, we all, like, dude. So
you are the skits.
You can't write this down, but if you record it, then you can write it down.
That was mm-hmm.
That was my thing. That was like my thought process.
You just have to pick a character and just go with it.
Yeah, I'm Christian Sidehug. But that's what I was saying, though.
Cephas,
is like,
man. Cephas loves you.
But what we come to find out,
yeah, man.
What had happened was the conversations in between the jokes were just as good, whether comically or, on a serious tip, but still.
Sometimes it doesn't even make any sense.
A lot of the times it doesn't make any sense.
Two guys laughing on the mic.
Well, until we bring it back around again. That's what the whole I'm telling you is. It's the again, because we always bring it back around. So when it comes back around, then it makes sense. But it takes us a whole hour to do that.
I even listen to us sometimes myself, and I'm just like,
how do we do that?
How do we do that?
Because that's what we do.
I don't plan this. You
can't write this. You literally can't write this.
There's hardly any thought process. I'm not sure if that comes across.
Hardly. There is none.
There's no brain activity at all up here.
None. There's none. Flat line on the brain.
And the fun thing about putting a mic in front of you is there's really no filter either. Just kind of.
Well, there's a pop mic, and then there's like.
No.
Oh,
like a mental filter. Yeah.
Dude, we've had this,
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, is the first series, like when we really, really started to.
Scotch.
I put it, Scotch. I put it as like little kids with a new toy for the first time. And really just exploiting the crap out of it. Like, dude, we just kind of went off. We definitely had a few episodes where it was just like no holds barred. And it was just like, where'd that come from?
Just went off.
Oi, where'd that come from?
Just disappeared with the CS catalog. I don't know what happened.
Oh, that's not JCPenney's.
JCPenney's.
The Penny's catalog. You seen the catalog for Penny's? You got the Penny's catalog. Yeah.
Pages 177 and 170,
83. Oh.
Stuck together.
Why can't I open these? That's gross, bro. That's gross. I mean, that kind of makes sense for us, though. But still, anyways.
You'd have to be there.
Yeah, I know.
No, you really wouldn't want to be there.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Is like, yeah, no, I don't know. I appreciate where we've gotten with all this because, I mean, that's what it's like. from the first one, again, like being super childish about stuff, right? Again, celebrating, just exploiting the crap out of that new Christmas toy. We've really come to a place where we want that rawness and honesty because we think that's the truest part. And we really want to say sacred to that, right? Like that's our, that's the thing we're going to hang our hat on, kind of a thing.
And maybe we've lost sight of that, kind of getting in the. And I think you had mentioned that before when we took a hiatus for a little bit, that we kind of got into the groove of just doing it to produce content instead of, like, you felt like maybe
we were like all business,
totally in it anymore. That
I felt like we were all business,
and I love that because since then, like, I think about that on a regular, and I'm like, are we staying true to form? Like, is there somewhere where we've kind of gone off the rails as far as, I mean, being able to keep it to our original as much as possible, which really, it's kind of hard to put a, like, oh, so that's
you're making a lot of sounds, but you ain't saying nothing.
I know. It's kind of hard to put words to some of this stuff to try.
But for you, like, it is apparently.
Well, like we were just talking tonight about having to like create like a synopsis for like
5 to 7 sentences.
What is it?
What would you say you do?
What would you say you do?
I already told you I'm a people person.
I'm like, it's think talk show meets Seinfeld.
Yeah, we're a show about nothing.
It's really, it's train of thought.
Well, which is cool because we literally will talk about quantum physics and mathematics and string theory and spirituality and meditation and, basic math and how to like be a better place.
Well, I mean, I just like to talk about whatever's on my mind, because
sometimes it's movies.
I think we kind of speak movie and song.
Yeah, it's like a given.
It just kind of comes out that way sometimes, but on a deeper level, I think, me personally, I tend to be very introspective about a lot of things. Like I can think my way 12 ways that what's some one thing that somebody said to me throughout the day, and blow it out of proportion in 12 different aspects. Like, right. Did they mean this, or was it this, or were they just implying that, or like.
Well, yeah, but that goes to the 4 agreements part, right? The fact that you're assuming, as well as then if you make a negative assumption, you also take it personal.
I'm not always assuming, but yes, you are correct.
Making the statement of to me,
but it's more like
very personal.
It's more like I'll kind of filter through every option. Like it's not like I'm prejudiced against one in particular, but the fact that I'm letting my head go there.
Allow me to ask you this then: if instead, when that were to happen, can you look at the situation and ask yourself, hey, what is one thing I can take away or learn from this? How can I turn this into a lesson? And see what that does for you? So instead of having 12 ways of what did they mean and or attempting to dissect it, literally just question, hey, what can I learn from this?
Honestly, the best way to do that is just to say, what is the worst case scenario of what this person really meant when they said X? And when you look at that, just look at that and realize that that's the worst way you could possibly take that, and then dissect it and then go, what does that mean? Why should I take offense? If I take offense, does it mean I resemble that? If I resemble that, is there something I can do to change? And that's a way to think without being stuck in the then, to be more in the now.
So that's learning the lesson from it, man. You're trying to draw experience or knowledge out of it.
And that's
wisdom and growth.
As I'm on the mic right now, that's the way I would
As I'm on the mic,
that's the way I'd like to handle everything in my life. But you know how sometimes life just kind of happens and catches you off guard.
Patience and persistence will get you there. I'm just saying, dude, patience and persistence, that'll carry you quite a bit.
Well, the weirdest thing, and I thought about this a couple of times before, and I've heard it mentioned in more than one place, is, expectations is what
right.
really sometimes can pull you back, because allowing yourself, now it's okay to have fascinations. It's okay to have daydreams,
thought experiments,
right? Things you'd like to see come to fruition, whether it's financial or spiritual or love interest or whatever it is.
He likes me. He really, really likes me. Sorry.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay to do that, but, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Okay, you're making a lot of sounds, but you ain't saying much.
you know what I mean, man.
Is what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting from you. I don't speak that. I don't know what to do with
Did I mention I'm drinking scotch? I don't know.
Scotch.
Scotch.
Down it goes in my belly.
This is the last of the 15-year-old age.
Our
Scott.
celebratory from our 100th episode.
100.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, we hit 100 episodes a little ways back. And
Did you say 100?
100.
100.
100. Oh, sorry.
How many times did we say 100?
66 times.
Sure wasn't 100.
Not yet. Now it's 67.
100.
68. Now you're just doing it to mess with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, 15-year-old celebratory scotch, which I feel like our last episode, apparently your dad reached out to you after hearing it, was just like, episode about 15-year-old scotch, huh? It's like, well, I mean,
Yeah, and
I guess kind of.
I don't always respond the night of because obviously we're like in the middle of stuff. I don't want to. If I get into it with my dad, I'll go on for like several hours and not even realize the time has passed, which is a good thing.
I feel like you do that with a lot of people.
I can.
Well,
yeah.
my only frame of reference
I'm not
is
projecting
myself.
this on anybody else. I know it's my fault.
No, my frame of reference is myself with you, and then you telling me about you with your dad.
No,
and
it's
I was
just going to be
sounds
like
the same.
I'm going to
so-
stop by for a half hour. Like seriously, like just a half. We're just going to catch up. You know, I'm going to pick up that movie you were going to loan me, and like then I'm out.
No, that doesn't
Like
happen.
4 hours later,
Yeah, that happens.
I'll get on the phone with my pops. It'll be like 3 p.m. Next thing you know, it's like 8 o'clock at night.
Wait,
Are you still on the phone?
what's the time difference? Because he's really far south, right? It's not how that works. That's the wrong direction.
Yeah, it's more like an east-west.
Eastern, western, northern of the southern section of can neither confirm nor if I had said information.
It's on the equatorial axis.
Equatorial axis.
Just saying. I'm just saying, which should be a child of this show too. I'm just saying.
Well, hey, you know what? We've talked about that possibility of additional
Marty pulled
content. Well, yeah,
I'm just
but I'm just saying. I'm telling
you, same thing, right? I'm telling you.
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
This is the thing.
Just saying.
Let's make a shirt. This is official. We're doing it.
I feel like just saying is like, no offense. Like this is.
Well, no, because typically when you say,
no offense, like it doesn't give you carte blanche.
but that's the thing is, so typically when you say no offense, you're just about to make a statement
Like
that
you're about
most
to say
likely
something,
will
yeah.
be taken in an
Why else
offensive
would
manner.
you say that? Like, don't say, hey, by the way, don't take any offense to this, but you're an asshole.
Yeah, but instead,
Pardon my French.
But if instead you make your statement and then you're just, the person's left gawking, you can just look at it and be like, I'm just saying. Because it's like that at that point, you're like, I'm not trying to be a
It's just
dick.
my
but like,
opinion. It's just in my opinion.
It had to be
from my
said.
feeble five senses, or I mean,
Someone
maybe I
needed
used
to do it.
But
I'm going to, yeah, no.
I didn't use all five senses. I didn't taste the situation. But
What?
I'm just saying, like,
I felt like,
I've used my senses to the best of my ability.
what are you, a salamander over here?
Through the rigid framework
Just
that
like
is me.
licking all of the stuff in the area as you're, so is that how?
There was a train here somewhere. I don't know.
Woo-hoo, there is no train. It left for Albuquerque, or took a left at Albuquerque. Something about Albuquerque.
My train of thought doesn't really, it doesn't really run on tracks per se.
Well, if it did come off the tracks, then you could pick it up.
The problem is,
Put it back.
to say that it's off the tracks would have to imply that it was once on the tracks.
Dude, that tone
Just
of voice, every time it just makes me think, what would you say you do? Yeah.
It would have to be on the tracks.
Yeah, no.
To be off the tracks.
And I think, and so, we were having this conversation earlier in the green room.
Careful. What?
But
Don't hurt yourself.
About the general sense that we have.
I'm drinking this way too fast.
At least I feel we've still maintained the innocence of what our conversations really are, in the sense of we would be doing this same discussion whether the mics were here or not. Which there are definitely some conversations that are happening because of the mics, but however...
Those are the recordings, regardless of how they're appreciated by anybody else. Those are the ones that I appreciate the most because, and it has nothing to do with the quality of the content. It's the fact that, like, if I feel like we're on a certain accord and things are flowing and there's, you know, an exchange of ideas or memories or whatever it is that we've shared through our multiplicitous years hanging out together. Too many years. Too many.
A plethora?
Scotch.
Would you say it's a plethora of years?
I would say it's probably a whole gaggle.
A gaggle?
Not a Google.
I don't even... So...
You do. You even.
What I was saying was, I feel
what
like
happened was
we talked about Atlantis for like 3 episodes in a row.
Alanis Morissette.
Atlantis. Now it's like I'm saying it when I'm angry.
You do that like you're sneezing the way.
Well, because I didn't like, you know, I can't.
You didn't want to shout.
Unlike
at the mic.
you, I don't get louder and then turn into the mic to make sure it picks it up even
that
further.
maybe I'm less than couth.
With your mic skills, yes. Yeah. I mean, like right now you're holding the mic.
I am holding the mic.
Dude, would you please, can you?
The only person that's bothering right now is you.
As well as it's not good for the equipment. Thank
I'm
you.
not gripping it up or nothing. I'm just gently holding it.
Yeah, no. Well,
It's not going to damage it.
Dude, so that's why you're not supposed to like touch a nice fine car when it's all done, because you're putting your acids and oils all over the
Your
paint.
acids and oils. What?
That's what comes off our fingertips.
You see what I got to live with?
Yeah.
You see this? And it's on record.
And she signed up for
It's
it.
on record.
Yeah,
We have it on record right now. I can see it. It's
I'm wearing
on
a
record.
wire.
You a knock.
Yeah, I'm a knock. I'm wearing a wire.
Do I have any coffee left?
Yeah, what's the code? What's the code word in Half Baked? When he's supposed to like, the cops are supposed to come in, but instead they're out in the car like half baked in the van because they were smoking the joint just before they went in to see Samson. Samson's gets me lifted. Mr. Nice Guy. Boy. Lord of mercy. I'm telling you, dude.
From
Dave
Jamaica?
Chappelle. Yeah.
What part?
Right by the beach. Boy. Lord of mercy. Dude, Dave Chappelle gets me every time.
Just somewhere in here.
He does. Like, he's got a direct line
is it
to my
deep?
funny bone.
Is it
Deep in the cockles.
It's deep in the cockles.
So deep. Yeah. It is like that. Infatuation.
Not to use medical terminology, but
Not to use medical
if anybody's not
terminology.
familiar about the cockles, it's a very deep organ within the what? I just making gestures at me.
See, this is what happens when he drinks the scotch. Jesus.
Mic drop.
Quick, somebody write this down. No more scotch for this guy.
What?
At least not 15-year-olds. You
I am not feeling the love right now.
get all antsy in the pantsy while I'm 15. It's 12 from here on out.
I'm driving with my hazards on, okay?
Dude, but see, the thing that was getting me about that guy. All right, so there's this. Yeah, no, so there's
I
this.
can relate. You know what I'm saying? I can relate.
There's this guy who makes music from like the most obscene things and makes entire tracks out of it, like typically like TikTok videos or whatever. But yeah, no, dude, I'm telling you, it was like some Lonely Island stuff. Because he's all like driving down the street with my hazards on, and he's just like, and that's just the way. But and there's like crazy beat, like him making.
I don't care who you are.
And him making it, so him going back and like editing the session of him creating this track that he turns into a little video but the video of him making it into the track to make it into the video, which is what he actually puts out on like YouTube.
It's just as funny as the material. Yeah.
I think sometimes it's like even funnier.
It's like the green room for us.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's like the green room.
So then when you get to see it all together, it's the again, and it makes it
Shameless
funny.
plug.
I had a shameless plug, I'm telling you. IT1, rexismusic.org.
Yeah, green room.
But, and so and that's what I think I really like about it the most is the, but him just, because he even, I think the thing for me that gets it the most is the fact that as he's sitting there by himself making these videos, he's obviously talking to himself, knowing that Future.
You hear him busting his own chops.
Well, yeah, knowing Future self can put in, have interjections where he can, and he does, like he picks on himself and like says stuff as like additional commentary.
How would you give an audio file hot dog?
Right, but
who does that?
Him in that mentality, knowing of all of those like time loops in a sense where you can do these things is like how I feel like my brain works sometimes. So it's like watching him, I'm like, I get it, bro. That's how it happens. This is how this works.
Do you know how your brain works?
A little bit.
Because I don't understand it.
It's 66 times in the head.
Not yours. I'm sorry. I'm speaking of mine.
That's what I'm saying. 66 times in the head.
I don't even know sometimes what's going on up there. Sometimes I say something.
Abracadabra.
I was going to say Alabama.
Abracadabra?
No, Alabama is what.
Abracadabra was the code word.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yo, how hilarious is that right now? He's like picking up his shirt to like pick up the wire, and he's like talking down. He's like abracadabra, abracadabra.
That's funny how that would. Is that what why you were saying it? Abracadabra. Yeah.
Dude, this is what
the minute she said it, I was like, wait a minute,
this is what having a great fact checker is all about. Like, way to have our back. We appreciate you so much. What?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to be like, this is.
He's just cracking me
Scotch.
up. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just
Scotch. Can't take you anywhere. It's a good thing you're not driving right now.
I brought myself here.
I mean, see, it's a good thing you're not driving right now, is what I'm saying. So that's where we are currently.
Why don't you take a nap on the putting
green?
green?
I mean, you can. I mean, that's,
take a nap on the putting green. Just throw it.
On the putting green. I don't think they allow that.
You don't think they allow that?
No, I'm pretty sure the management frowns on that.
The sprinklers on anymore?
No, not around here.
Late in the year.
It's late in the year. I mean, it's also like AstroTurf, so it doesn't require water. It's fake.
I
hate to tell you,
it just looks so real.
No, it doesn't.
It really doesn't.
No, it's a pretty good quality though. I will say that for what it is and how much I had to spend, that is a quality golf mat
for its purpose.
He's referencing the fact that I have my golf mat here in the studio because it's the only room I have where it's large enough that I can fit it all.
It's a multi-purpose room.
It is. Well, at this point, because it has to be. But yeah, that's where I do all the production work, everything. I mean,
what do you want? It's solid gold, man.
It's like my functioning studio and
can you hear that?
Office. It's all of it.
That's solid gold right there.
That's not what gold sounds like.
Shh. Don't listen to him. These are not the droids.
These are not the droids. We are the droids you're looking for. You've tuned in to Star Wars Hour. No, that's not how this happens. What?
I'm a droid? What?
No, I just had the Cantina song start running through my head.
It's like this damn place. It's like every time I come in here, it's the same song playing.
Well, no, it was what was it? Family Guy. When Family Guy did the remakes of the Star Wars.
Which was really good.
There's the one where when they redo the first one and they go into the cantina and the cantina band plays that song and they take a quick like pause and they're just like, hey, we're taking any kind of request. And it's like, play the same song again. It's like, same song, here we go. And just like right back into the cantina song. Like so it's like, that's the only song they know.
That's the only song they know. Yeah, that was the only one they actually programmed the puppets to do. So.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, it's a catchy track. Like, I'm into it. Dude, people have it for like,
No,
you know.
it absolutely worked, and it was
They're
part of the
for the
classic
ringtones and
it
stuff,
should- and in my opinion, a classic should never be touched, and it's a shame that it was.
Scotch.
Just shut up.
Shut up, Ted.
I'm just saying.
I'm telling you.
No, it's
I'm just
not a new
saying.
freaking hope.
It's not.
It's not a new freaking hope.
It's not. It's
You
not
can
a
take your
Tumo.
new hope and you can fold it up real small. You can stick it sideways. But you know what I'm saying? It's not a new hope.
Take a lump of
It's
coal,
Star
shove it up
Wars.
his ass. 2 weeks, you'd have a diamond.
2 weeks.
I have to agree with you on that one. First three are the only three. Like that's to me like that's
Like you can make whatever jokes you want about it, but like that was all made out of love. That entire thing was all done out of love. The Family Guy version of,
oh yeah,
I mean, that was all totally out of love.
a fanboy style.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
I mean, sure, there's things to poke at, but I mean, think about it. I mean, at this point, you're just dating it.
Well, especially when they use like the different characters, so that like you know Obi-Wan Kenobi was the perverted old guy.
That's right.
Where he's like, look deep into your heart. Oh. You sure do look good there,
But
Luke.
somehow out of love, just somehow out of all that mess, it was out of love.
Oh, I know. We're like the freaking Wane. See, you don't know none of this because you ain't into the Star Wars stuff. So like, not all right. So not only do you need to watch the Star Wars,
But I watched
but
Family Guy.
so have you seen the Family Guy Star Wars? Because there's three
I
of
believe
them.
so, yeah.
Which is strangely accurate, by the way.
Oh, it's very. It's like
strangely accurate in its own way.
It's like what they did in Be Kind Rewind when they swazed it or whatever. Or
Yeah, it's their version, but it's strangely accurate. It's kind of spookily accurate.
yeah. Oh
How
no,
they
he's
get it
on
in
the
such
ceiling.
a small time frame, because they jammed it into like a super episode or something. It was
Double episodes.
yeah, so it was
So they were like just under 50 minutes.
Was it 2 long episodes? Yeah,
Well, yeah. So it made
56.
it made them like 50ish. You know, so it's like
56 or 60.
well, because it was double episodes. 66 times in the head. Well, no, because you figure it has to be just under an hour due to the fact that they got to at least get some commercials in there and then splitting it up into 2 episodes. You know, but you can get it as the full production. You know what I mean? You can pick it up as a seamless piece. I think I have 2 of them. I'm pretty. I have at least one, but I think I have 2 of the 3. What? I'm just.
No, what?
This all right. So back to what I was saying. You have to watch the original 3, and then watch the Family Guy 3, because then you can get a true comparison and understanding for it.
You got to provide those copies because it's kind of hard to.
I'm driving down for a weekend, and we're gonna do like Star Wars like cramathon.
Like you have the original versions,
Oh yeah, I do all 3.
like actual physical copies,
Oh, I do.
commercial physical copies.
On VHS.
Unicorn. No, I don't. Not on.
That would be. I wouldn't
not
play
on
that.
tape.
I wouldn't. I would keep that in like a lockbox somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. Wink, wink. Not on tape. I have
VHS?
DVD. Wink, wink. But not on tape. Yeah, no. I do have it on I do have it on DVD though.
It's on
all
record.
3.
It's not actually on a record, but it's on record.
That's my record, man.
It's not vinyl.
You scratched my record.
Did you ever? Do you remember? Did we ever talk about that before?
What's that? You have to tell me what we.
Seeing a movie on record.
Yeah, because that's.
Didn't we talk about that before?
That was almost like what Laserdisc was, but
No, it was
Right,
just
right.
before all that. It was before
That's what I'm
compact
saying, like,
disc
it
or
was-
Laserdisc. It was like in the late 80s, I want to say, because it was right around the time when Back to the Future was going to video store. So I don't know how long back then that would be close to a year and a half after it came out at least.
that was decades ago, bro.
And that came out in 85.
I don't remember nothing from back then.
Yeah, right around that time, I saw a movie on vinyl, and it was the weirdest thing. The movie, it didn't look any different from a VHS, but it was actually coming off of a vinyl record.
Well, but, I mean, technically, that's what like the floppy disks were. They were just like small vinyls, but magnetic, and it was imprinted in that fashion. So it's still the same kind of like idea.
It's strangely still analog sound, but just a completely different medium. In a way. Because I mean, technically, once you imprint onto a disc, right?
Well, but the magnetic disc where you could do
scratch is pretty much a solid state.
Well, that's what vinyl and phonograph, like the wheels, all that stuff, because then it's physically etched into it, so you can't rewrite on that. You would have to, I suppose, suppose you would have to like erase that, so you'd have to like clear it off and then recut it or something. I guess. I mean, I'm assuming. I don't know.
But
maybe our fact checker could tell us if they had rewrite technology back in phonograph days.
And I don't know. Maybe you can look this up while we're sitting here talking. But I remember visiting family friends, and it was the first and only time I'd ever seen a vinyl video player.
It was on record, man.
And it came inside a plastic case. If you could imagine a thin plastic case surrounding a vinyl record. It's basically what it looked like. And you would take that whole thing with the case, and you would shove it into the player and then pull the case back out. And it would play the record by itself. And then when you reached a point in the movie where you had to turn the disc over, you would put the empty case back in, pull it out, turn it around, put it back in.
I think I remember seeing this.
And I only remember watching a video on one of those once. So I think it was a pretty quick fad. I don't think it didn't last. Even though Betamax was better, it just did not last. Just saying.
I like Baymax. That's what we're talking about.
But you ever watch a movie on vinyl?
Yeah, that's what I feel like. My uncle had this because back in the day he had like all the new shit. He had this stuff where it's just like you can't even get this. I got a guy in Japan.
Yeah, this would have been one of the things that for like an AV nerd grown up would be all over that. Because it was new and up and coming, and it was cool.
Like far out there technology,
and nobody had it. And it is really cool because like I don't even know how I didn't realize there'd be enough information on a vinyl record to be able to display video. Are you all right there?
What?
What? Huh?
No, that's I agree.
I wouldn't think there'd be enough.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like the idea of like like when you get to the floppies, because the original, what the heck were they, like 3.5 by 5s or something like that?
Oh,
or 3.5. Yeah, you had 3.5 floppies. Then you had like 2 1/4.
Double-sided, double density,
double rainbow. But because then you could like flip them over and stuff. But still, yeah. Because I mean, think about it.
The original. I think the 3.5s you're talking about are the hard discs.
No, the 3.5s were the floppy floppies where you could like actually floppy.
What was it? No.
Yeah, those were 3.5.
The 3.5 was I thought it was like the hard.
No, those were like 2 1/4.
Oh, it was 2 1/4.
That's what I'm saying.
This is going way back. I wasn't even into computing at all at this point, but
yeah, 3.5 was like that
Commodore
big
64 days.
It was like that big black floppy like squarish that had a circle in the middle where the outside case you could still see some of the.
It was like a silver circle, and like the outer square shaped case that held it was disguised this whole disc within there, basically.
It was in its own sleeve, basically.
It was a floppy disc.
Well, yeah, because it was floppy. Like you would pick it up and it was, it would wobble.
It would flop. It would flop. Would flop. Like things that flop.
It's like when you're on the beach and you wear flippy floppies.
There you go. Flippy floppies. That's an appropriate family style term. We can go with that.
Well, because that was the thing is when we went to those smaller
I'm thinking of other things that flop, but yeah.
like that joke.
Bro.
But no, the thinking about like the 2 1/4 because they were more of a hard disk because they were smaller, so they were more rigid, and they were still calling them floppies. It's like it's not a floppy anymore.
What was they called it a floppy? Yeah, no, I never got that either. But
Yeah, because it was just. I mean, that was what it was still supposed to be, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a nerd. I don't get the name stuff.
yeah, that's when like your drive would have like 2 different ports on it, and it would have the full size floppy.
Oh yeah, you have
Or
the
like
3.5 spot and the 2 1/4. So in case you had, you know,
Was it really 3.5? Was it 3.5 inches? Is that how big the floppy did? I don't know.
yeah, because do think about it. Like that's an inch, that's 2 inches, that's 3 inches, that's 3.5.
Yo, bro,
To do that as a square,
Commodore 64 was the shit back in the day. I just have to say that. Hands
I
down.
just, you know, I'm gonna, you know, shout out
And this
to
is-
the Commodore 64.
Well, no, I'm just saying this is before like, well, I mean Atari was out, but this is before like the game systems got really, really, really like huge. And
I want to say NES, like the original Nintendo is, I want to say like what really brought mainstream video games
even
to the
back
household.
then, at the time, if you wanted to get a game emulator, you would use a Commodore, and like we used to get pirated video games all the time.
Shh, you can't talk about that here.
You totally can talk about that here. There's nothing wrong with that.
Statute
video
of
games.
limitations.
It was a long time ago.
I was 7 and you're bootlegging video games?
I had nothing to do with it. I was just playing them.
You're an accomplice.
I was a little kid. I didn't know any better. What?
Ignorance is no.
I was just having a good time, man.
Oh.
I wasn't trying to hurt nobody.
Yeah, we'll
I was
see.
just
I
trying
had
to play some
a
joust.
I had a very healthy
Burger time.
I had a very healthy Atari addiction back in the day.
Or Donkey Kong.
You know, I was
Paperboy.
because I was able. I forget how I got the
Rampage.
system. Like I think I had to. I gave up some of
Pac-Man.
my what do you want to call it? My the money you get every week from your parents.
Joust.
But after you like,
Allowance?
but I had to do
Yeah.
chores for it, so I was actually like getting paid, I guess.
Dude, you had to
But-
clean like the whole downstairs every day.
Well, no, this is when we lived in Cali.
Oh.
So I was mowing the lawn. I'm like 8 and 9 years old, and I'm mowing the lawn, doing
Hell
the
yeah.
laundry, cleaning the whole house, picking up all the dog poop, taking care of the dogs. Like I was basically managing the house outside of like not going to work and paying the bills. You know what I mean? But like, so I would use my.
See, I need to start instilling stuff like that with my children.
Oh, this is another discussion for
That's
another
actually
time.
not a bad idea
It's a very good idea. It's a great idea.
because it gives you a sense of ownership.
It really does. Well, because I would, instead of me spending that money, I would save it and then I would spend it on upgrades for my Atari. So like new controllers,
Hells yeah.
new games. By the time I like stopped playing the
Gotta get
Atari,
the 2600 controller.
well, so by the time I stopped playing my like the original, well, I guess a second gen Atari because it wasn't like the first one, but it still wasn't like the 2600.
Magnavox
Like the
Odyssey.
1500.
But yeah, basically it was yeah.
I had the Odyssey. I had the knockoff.
Well, yeah, but so
Well, that was the first one before Atari.
yeah, no, this was it
The
was an
Odyssey didn't-
Atari, but
the Odyssey
it
didn't
was
get all the copyright material though. They had to fake their own games.
yeah, no, mine would have been I want to say would have been like the
a
second
knockoff.
generation of the Atari, but it was before they started coming out with like the numbered ones where they were like the bigger, badder, awesome.
Like we had a
Like the
Centipede, but
26 and the
it wasn't called
72 or
Centipede.
whatever, and yeah,
There was a Pac-Man that was called something other than Pac-Man.
yeah, Miss Pac-Man. Oh, I knew it's
No, I'm telling you, the Odyssey, like they didn't get all the rights to the different, you know,
yellow sphere dot eater guy.
which is funny because you'd think E.T. would be a good game, but no, it was horrible.
Oh no, that was
With all the money that was behind that movie and all the money that it made,
yeah. But how much fun can you make about putting an alien in a basket and then riding the bike,
I don't
floating in the stars,
I don't know,
across
but
the
it
moon?
was, the game, if you've ever played it, makes absolutely no sense.
dude. It's yeah.
The user interface for that game just
well, it was very much like a fantasy game where you had to
almost like a Zelda-like.
Yeah, quest. There was a quest to it. Yeah,
but there was no description of what's going on. They just kind of drop you in the middle of this area, and like you end up falling down a hole, and you're looking around, and you're like, "What is this?" I'm talking about like this is a long time ago that I played this anyway. But
yeah, see, my problem is when I was like I was never really much of a sleeper ever. So even as like an 8, 9, 10-year-old, like, you know, I'm only sleeping like 6-8 hours a night at that. And then as I got older, like it started getting to like, you know, less and less. But still, as a younger kid, I had plenty of time on my hands. So I'd play all these video games because, you know, I'd beat them and just be like, all right, next game. And then, you know, keep moving on. But yeah, I was always an Atari freak. Like I didn't do a Nintendo until I want to say like NES was out for at least 3 years. You know what I mean? Like it was finally on market long enough where it became the thing where it's like, oh crap, this is like a thing.
Atari had a lot of really cool. I mean, to start, I mean, the funny thing is, like, you'd think when you've grown up around like the really good graphics and stuff. If you have from the generation after us that grew up with like cell phones were already a thing, video games had been around for years, like
right.
You know, like what we started with, there's something still kind of nostalgic and enjoyable about that the simplicity of it and the way that it could still hold your attention and still be competitive.
Do you
the
think
fact
about
that you're working with like an 8-bit graphic system didn't really matter to you.
Yeah, think about this. We went from playing Pong to Grand Theft Auto.
Dude, it gets better than that. I mean, I'm not even.
But no, just think about that
like,
gap.
I'm not even. Not even into sports, but I'm like, you play Madden these days, and it's
get
like
out the car.
It's
pop,
like
pop, pop,
real.
pop.
Have you seen the new Madden games? I haven't actually played one, but I mean,
oh well, yeah, but that's I think
see what they've done with these graphics now.
Well, yeah, and it's not even the football one. I think it's also like the NBA and all that. Yeah, a lot of them say it's like watching a game now.
Madden's been a thing, like a staple of the sports video game, you know, arena.
Well, yeah, it was definitely but outside of Tecmo Bowl.
Madden now, whatever the latest version of Madden is now, it's so ridiculously
Madden 37.
It looks like you're watching a football game.
Yeah, the way the angles and
with the way the announcer does certain things, and then there's
because it'd be like had too much pop. That's all you got. Like that was it. You're just like, yeah, thanks, Madden.
Anyhow, but there was something enjoyable and all natural about the original
all natural, right?
The original games that we grew up with.
Yeah, well, and because before I even had an Atari, my parents had introduced me to cabinet games and pinball. Mm. So my introduction to video games was
like arcades.
Yeah, full-size Johns, like the real deals. You know, the things where you would have to go to the arcades to play them because that's what it was. It was, it was a cabinet. It was a big box. So to be able to have all those video games at your fingertips was just like, what?
All this stuff.
Well, yeah, because I think originally, so my parents bought the Atari for the family because it was, a family console. We could all play these games together.
That never happened.
Yeah, we did. We would play like Frogger together and stuff, and see who could like beat each other. Yeah, my mom was vicious. My mom was like the Frogger champ.
My mom's thing was always Pac-Man. If you Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man, you sit her in front of that, she's gone for hours.
Yeah, no, my mom, vicious.
I've seen this. Yeah,
I've seen this. This is a true thing.
Recently.
Oh, really? Yeah. Nice. Yeah, you just enter the controller and she's like, I'll just play 1 or 2 games. And like 3 hours later, she's still like, nope. Dinner? What? Get yourself something. I don't know. I'm busy.
I'm still on my first quarter. Oh, that's awesome.
sometimes the classics, man. I mean, you just all the innovations and everything now is that, sometimes there's something to just a classic. There's a reason why it was classic in the first place.
Yeah, I definitely have a soft spot for the
Yeah, definitely.
for the Atari. I definitely do, because I mean that's also Zelda, right? And then
Zelda? Wasn't that Nintendo?
Yeah. Oh, never mind. Yeah,
That was Nintendo, yeah.
No.
yeah, no, correct. I'm misspeaking. Apologies. But yeah, no, that's what.
What were the big ones?
In what, Atari?
Yeah.
It was like Pong, Tank,
Pole position.
Combat.
Remember, pole position was a really popular one.
Oh yeah. Then there was Blades of Steel,
Didn't they do
Tecmo Bowl,
the summer games,
NBA Jam.
winter games, all that,
Yeah.
the Olympic games.
Centipede.
Centipede was a big one, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing I liked about the, like I was saying before, the Commodore, is that it was of its time. You could play emulators from any game that was out, from this time back, like whenever you can find, if it's out there, you could,
Well, right, because all you needed was, that was basically a small computer just for video games.
So you
just need to tell what the game was and how it played.
At the time, maybe you couldn't get, without being on an arcade system, you couldn't play Joust, but you could sit there and play it at home.
Dude, Joust. I had Joust on the Atari. I remember that. And then Joust 2, plus Pitfall 2. Oh, yeah.
So many good games. And it's funny how many games that I played that actually took up a lot of my time that were below 16-bit graphics. I'm just saying, like, if you were to make that a category, anything 8 or 16-bit and below.
8 is great.
Which 8, I guess, is pretty much the starting point. But anyway,
The 808 kick drum, make the girls get them, rolling right near the pops.
Oh, yeah.
Posse's on Broadway.
people still use the 808. They have emulators that
remember,
emulate
like,
the 808. What's up?
Before smartphones, when you had the Nokia and you had like Snake.
And every time you drop that thing, it would bust apart in like 3 or 4 pieces. Freaking hated that shit. It was one of the first ones you could wear on a clip on your belt, which was like the worst way to hold your cell phone in the first place, especially a big clunky one. But every time the thing fell, it would be like 3 pieces on the floor. I'd be like, oh, I gotta pick it up.
I like the fact that she called it a smartphone.
Smartphone. You remember when? Yeah, is that like the books thing? Remember when phones were for making phone calls?
Dude, right? Like
Like it was for talking to people.
Dude, that's what a phone is for.
Is it?
I mean, granted, you know what? It's nice because
or is it for seeing if your friend's full of shit or not? And just, I can just look that up on Google right now because I'm holding the phone. I'm holding a tiny computer in my hand. We don't realize how much information we have at our fingertips right now. And the average of the population uses it for porn and kitten videos.
So there's this episode of How I Met Your Mother where they're all sitting around, and this is funny because you're gonna like this, and they all have their faces buried into their phones, and the one person looks up and they're just like, "Hey, remember when we used to sit around and argue about different stuff because you didn't have the phone, so you couldn't look stuff up?"
It ends the argument.
So now it's like everybody's just sitting at the bar drinking their beers at the same table together, just looking at their phones.
That's one of the things my pop says. He's like, it's ending arguments. If he's like, let's not involve the phone. Let's not look it up. Let's just argue about it. I mean, I don't know. I get the feeling that that's what he's inferring sometimes when he brings it up. That he's,
Well, we're spoiled. We got a fact checker. So what's up?
Destroying perfectly good arguments everywhere.
I feel like she's helping to.
She's helping. Yeah, she's definitely helping because this is different. Like we have to keep a conversation moving in some kind of direction.
Well, it's not even that, but I think she definitely.
Even if it's sideways.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Is she?
I'm telling you.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes while she can keep it from happening, other times she might be influencing. and I like it.
Sometimes she is.
Evil grin. You saw the evil grin? Yeah, that was Oh, I saw it. I saw the way you smirked.
Oh, that was just a grin.
That was you guys in on it together? Like secret handshake I need to know about? What's going on over here?
No, not at all.
No, not at all. Wink, wink. Why did you just wink at her?
The people have said that to me before. It's like, how come when you smile, it looks like you're up to something?
Like, because I usually am. I mean, wait, what?
I don't know.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Read into that as you will, I suppose. These are not the droids you're looking for.
Back to that again. I don't know. Third base. Yeah, speaking of which.
I wasn't planning anything, but now that you mention it, I kind of want to.
I'm just saying Star Wars double trilogies, the original 3, and the original Family Guy.
The original one was just
Star Wars. Yeah, that's it. Nothing else.
No hope.
Don't even. We don't say that here. God, next you're going to go into the mirror and be like Candyman 3 times.
I might. Don't say it 2 more times.
Why don't you just say Boogeyman and get it over with, bro?
No. Bloody Mary.
Beetlejuice.
Bloody Mary.
Alabama. Oh, yeah. That's like the first time I've done that one. All right. I'm part of the team now.
Yeah, what happens if you look in the mirror and say Alabama 3 times? Or is it like Wizard of Oz and you have to like click your heel 3 times and say Alabama?
It may be.
Is that how that one works?
I think you should try that.
Forrest Gump shows up.
There's the Forrest Gump
you have to turn the lights on and off like 12 times first and then spin around in a circle.
No, you have to do-si-do in a circle.
Spin your partner around and around. I don't know. Something like that.
We'll get back to you on that.
So, I mean, yet again, I'm back to this again. If, in a nutshell, we had to describe...
Oh, we're still on this. Bring it up. Oh, shit.
I mean, what would you say?
You do? Well, all right, because... Well,
because I really struggle with this. It's been how long? I was supposed to write something as an intro, hey, this is what we're all about. And, chopping it up 30 years of friendship just doesn't seem to cover.
When I say essay,
there has to be
essay.
No, yeah, but not 1,000 words. I mean, we're
not
talking
a single word repeated.
We're talking
500.
Like 500, maybe
1,000.
500 words will work.
1,000 words. He wants a 1,000 word essay.
No, but I'm talking about our thing. I'm not talking about the movie quote.
Yeah, I'm talking about Richard Vernon.
Not right now.
Yeah, Dick.
Not in the no, actually now in the now. That's what I'm talking about.
Over here.
Right here.
In the here.
In the here. Right now. Tomorrow.
Dude, it was in my head. I just freaking hand in the air.
Oh.
Like, rock anthem style, right now.
Rock anthem style or, Special Olympics or.
Wow. Are you going to go ahead and talk about Canada now too?
And honestly, I'm picking on myself on that one just as much as anything.
I'm very grateful that this show is almost over. I can go home soon. And hey, what's up, buddy? I didn't
him to change his ways.
What did you? No, dude, the Michael Jackson one where you kept answering the question, but with like more, that and more like album, like track names, lyrics, and. Yeah, though that one was way better. You need to do more of that, please, if you could.
Well, I'm not trying to
get on that.
I'm not trying to be an all-out thriller. You know what I'm saying?
See, this is what I'm talking about.
It's not like there's some crazed nut out there and I have to beat it. It's
that was a stretch.
It's not like that. It's not like I'm looking for my.
The Scotch has gotten you. You can't do it,
girl. Or
what's you?
How do you even work that one in? I don't know.
No. Just put it down.
I can't. I can't put it down. That's the problem.
Yeah, what are you doing with that bottle? Put it down.
I was just going to put this down.
There's some over here.
Some over here and some over there.
Yeah, I was just looking for the rest of this bottle. Yeah, no, you finished the scotch. We're aware. Trust me.
So, yeah.
The whole world is now aware of you and the scotch.
World.
100 episodes.
The entire
15-year
world.
bottle Scotch.
Well, I mean, not like everybody in the
that
world. I mean, that's very presumptuous, I think.
An exaggeration. Yeah, I mean, and I'm all for your...
What if at like one point we were like Bill and Ted, where our commentary back and forth, 30-year friendship
Saves
crap
the
that we do
world.
saves the world? No, nay.
Nay.
The known universe. No, because think about it. Bill and Ted, it wasn't even that they united humanity. It was that they were to unite all things in the known
I
universe.
think Jack Black. I'm sorry.
Nay.
That totally threw me off.
We are but men. Rock. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is not the real
Rock
song.
anthem.
This is just the tribute.
This is just a tribute.
Couldn't remember.
I couldn't remember the original lyrics, but
Yeah.
this is just a tribute. Jack Black.
I do. And Kyle Gass. You got to remember Kyle Gass. That's Tenacious D. That's all of them.
Bro, that was the... Yeah.
Yeah.
All of them is only two, right?
First got into that
Yeah,
before
correct.
Jack Black really totally hit it big, and then he was in like everything, which School of Rock is awesome. I could watch that like a million times over.
Yes.
Oh, it's in the collection.
And it's family friendly.
And it's family friendly. It is. It's like a Pixar film.
It's family friendly. It's very nice with the family.
Yeah. Because it's funny too.
It's fun. It's engaging.
I know, except for when he starts talking about being touched by the kids and touching the kids. And I'm pretty sure I've touched them. Oh my God. Then he's like, you can just see in his eyes, he's like, oh, wait, no, oh, bro, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. And then you see him like running through the parking lot. But as always,
It's been a long time.
I'm not going to do it. I'm just
I'm just going to say what it would be like. I'm not actually going to.
well, regardless, if you want to continue that conversation,
I love when she laughs. That cracks me up.
dude, I love it too. Every time I re-listen to it, it makes me giggle more. But yeah, if you want to reach out and tell us about how much you love her laugh or our laughs or none of our laughs,
ITY, directionsinmusic.org, or Gemini, GEMINI, directionsinmusic.org, or
GEMINI
with the double L over here.
PHILLYD at directionsinmusic.org.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But this is I'm Telling You with Philly D.
Mr. Gemini.
Fact checker JD.
Yeah, be good to yourself. Be good to everyone else, fam.
Much love.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.